Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So Jay, Bozy Ennis just did an interview with YSM. Shout out to YSM dropping that dope content out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And he revealed that Jaron Ennis was in fact supposed to be a part of the November 25th card, David Benavidez versus Bout Andrade. And apparently, Boots is not going to be on that. Not even apparently. We know that Boots is not going to be on that card because they've already announced the undercard. And David Benavidez was of the belief that Jaron Ennis was going to be on that undercard. Now, Bozy has revealed exactly why it didn't occur. And it was because they were supposed to fight Cody Crowley. And apparently he backed out. Now, he heard some rumblings out there that Cody Crowley wanted some additional money. He also heard that maybe somebody got into his ear and said they don't want to fight Jaron Ennis at this moment and he's not ready. But it's interesting because the way that it was framed by Bozy is like they get all the way up into the fight and then, they back out of it. So apparently some of the comments that I've heard in the past in regards to PBC and fighters supposedly not signing till like the week of the fight or something like that may be true if Cody Crowley had the ability to back out of the fight this late in the game. Now, it's interesting, and I feel bad for Jaron Ennis. I truly do, because Ennis is having a really hard time. We hear people try to the detractors of Jaron Ennis. They try to use his resume as a reason why he shouldn't get, big fights with like a Terrence Crawford, if you will. And how can he build his resume when fighters simply don't want to get in the ring with him? And this is the second time we've heard this. Crowley didn't want to get into the ring with him. We heard Stanionis. It was Stanionis that said that he was not ready to get into the ring with him, although he was ready to get in the ring with Keith Thurman. So at the end of the day, it's not his fault that he's not getting these opportunities. Now, I want to point out something, Jay, very quickly in regards to Cody Crowley, because just a few months ago, as I recall, Cody Crowley was saying this. Let me go ahead and pull that up, Jay.
So, is there anybody you want to tell stop running, stop hiding?
Everybody, bro. Everybody. Everybody at 147 pounds. I'm here. Cody Crowley, number 1 in the WBC, number 2 in the WBO, number 3 in the IBF. I'll fight anybody, bro. Anybody, anytime. I want the biggest and best fights. I understand it has to make sense and mean business, but I'm not scared of anybody. I'll fight anybody. So, Thurman, Ugas, Boots,
There we go.
Whatever you want.
So he's saying right there, and I know that audio, Jay, is a little bit grainy, or there was a lot of background noise, if you will. Maybe I should have downloaded it and ran it through our special software to get rid of all that background noise.
You can hear enough of it, though.
But yeah, he's basically saying that he wants everybody. He called out where he is in all the rankings, and he said specifically that he would get in the ring with Jaron Ennis, and now he's pulling out of a fight. So again, I feel bad for Jaron Ennis. It's a struggle for the kid to get anybody in the ring with him. It's hard to be critical of him in situations where people won't get in the ring with him. It is what it is. So Jay, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of resonates on his tweet from October 12th, where he said, everybody wants to fight until it's time to sign that contract and fight. So to me, this is who he's probably talking about.
Facts.
Them supposed to be fighting November 25th, which was about 6 weeks out at that time. So, like you said, it's not his fault. He can't get people in the ring. They're backing out. Stanionis, I think Stanionis been active, he would have fought Boots. But coming off a long layoff, he knows he needs to be at his best to fight Boots. So I'm not too mad at that, saying that he needs to, a couple fights under his belt on that. Someone like Thurman, high risk, low reward to fight Boots. That's why Thurman's like, nah, he just wants really a shot at a title. Honestly, I think with Thurman, which is the only title at 147, is that Bud has all the belts there. So people that's very critical of Boots, they're sometimes they're weird to me. And what I mean by that is some of their own fighters, that their favorite fighters haven't fought the best, but Can't you tell by the eye test? Can't you tell by the eye test? They're great. They're great. They haven't fought anyone as of yet. Boots is in that same situation. And Boots is trying to get these fights. He's trying to get these fights. I know one thing about Boots. He's a mandatory for the IBF. And if he's a mandatory, the person who's a champion says they always fight their mandatory. So if that person's going to stay at 147, and I'm talking about Bud, of course. If he's going to stay at 147, he should fight his mandatory, which is Boots. But Bozy talking about Cody Crowley, I'm surprised at Cody Crowley, though. I thought he would definitely take this fight just because he has a great story about things that happened with his life, with his father and whatnot. So I figured he would just continue that. He had everyone was, real respectful about him and really liked his story in his last fight. And I'm like, okay. And he can fight too. I think that would have been a perfect test for Boots and definitely a perfect test for Crowley because Crowley hasn't fought anyone of that caliber yet. So that would have been a good matchup. I don't know if the financials were just so far off, they just backed out of it. But if the financials off from the very beginning, why would you have it almost get that deep into the fight? Especially Boots already say he's locked in, he's training and all that stuff there. And all of a sudden, 6 weeks out, you're not fighting. You back out. So I mean, I don't get it, especially after the clip that you played. He said he want pretty much all the smoke with everybody. This your chance. This your chance right here.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. So I had forgotten about that tweet from Jaron Ennis. So then that would suggest that in reality, he would have backed out weeks in advance. So so then that means that what Bozy is talking about is from weeks ago. So I mean, this is part of the challenge with boxing, right? Guys believing that having an undefeated record is what's going to preserve them, keep them in the best position, or I mean, just concerned about taking on an appropriate challenge. And Crowley, there's nothing to me that suggests that Crowley is going to be at the top of the 147-pound division. That means that he has to take risk, right? Maybe somebody like a Jaron Ennis, he may match up with favorably in some way, shape, or form and have an opportunity to beat him. He's going to have to take risk in order for him to get up to the top of the welterweight division, and trying to be as strategic as possible to maximize your dollar. I mean, don't get me wrong. Being strategic, that does make sense. But at the same time, come on, man. You're going to have to take some risk in this game, and it makes no sense to me to lose to a lower level fighter at some point when you have an opportunity to try to at least knock Jaron Ennis, an up and rising welterweight. I mean, listen, if he were to get in the ring and beat Jaron Ennis, his name would automatically catapult to the top of the welterweight division. And I think that's important for somebody like Cody Crowley because his name is not going to catapult in any other way as far as I'm concerned. So what exactly are you waiting for? So, and then why did you get to the point where you agreed in the first place? And then why would you get on record saying that you want Jaron Ennis in the first place? Like, none of it makes any sense to me to then back out of the fight. I mean, it just does. It is what it is. You guys tell us what you think in the comment section in regards to what Bozy had to say relative to Cody Crowley not wanting that smoke. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are out.